Today is the fourth Ukrainian Independence Day since the full-scale invasion by the aggressors, Putin's Russia, began. And that fact alone is extraordinary. In February 2022, Vladimir Putin expected Kyiv to fall within 3 to 4 days. Instead, Ukraine stands bruised but unbroken, its flag still flying over Kyiv, the capital. And yet, we must also reckon with the melancholy in Ukraine voices reported in The Independent this morning. Many citizens fear the war will never end. For those in exile, like Monica Popaduik in Somerset or Lisa Peribinis in Germany, the fear is not abstract. It's the absence of home, the uncertainty of whether return is ever possible. That's not mere pessimism, it's the lived experience of a country locked in a struggle where peace too often means appeasement. Why then is it wrong to think Russia might be winning, as some people on the in the comments section and across the internet seem to project? So let's consider the evidence. Firstly, in the battlefield, Russia has not achieved its stated war aims. Kyiv was not captured. Ukraine has claimed large parts of Kharkiv and Kherson, reclaimed those parts. Even today, Russia's much trumpeted summer offensive has yielded little more than charred fields and the sacrifice of tens of thousands of young men. The so-called meat grinder has devoured lives without shifting the front lines in Russia's favor. Dr. Natalie Saborajne of the Chatham House says that Russia sees the Black Sea as essential to its imperial identity and global ambition, yet it's here that Russia has been humiliated most visibly. A third of its Black Sea fleet has been destroyed, not by mighty carriers or NATO warships, but by Ukraine's homemade drones. Its pride, the cruiser Moskva, lies at the bottom of the sea, and Turkey's closure of the Bosphorus means Moscow cannot replace its losses. Russia is effectively bottled up, its naval pretensions reduced to ashes. If Russia were winning, Putin would not be so paranoid. The rumours of coups, the mysterious deaths of ministers and oligarchs, the Wagner mutiny of 2023, all of this testifies to a brittle system in Moscow. A confident leader doesn't need to purge his allies or silence his critics with defenestrations. A paranoid one does. Paranoia is itself evidence of weakness. Putin is weak. If Putin is alive, if Putin is not indeed in the Smeg fridge, he is shivering with terror. Russia has lost Europe as an energy customer, pushing it into the embrace of China on humiliating terms. Finland and Sweden have joined NATO. The very outcomes Putin wished to prevent. His war was meant to curtail Western influence. Actually, it's expanded it. If this is victory, it's a Pyrrhic one. The resilience of Ukraine, meanwhile, is something to be shouted about. Independence Day was not celebrated in exile, but in Kyiv itself, attended by President Zelensky, Prime Minister Carney of Canada, and countless ordinary citizens. Ukraine has endured drone strikes, blackouts, mass graves, but it endures. Its factories now build drones and missiles of their own. Its soldiers exchange prisoners of war and return to the front. Its people still speak not of surrender, but of sovereignty. To be clear, Ukraine has not yet won either. But it's certainly not driven the Russians back to the borders of 1991. The war grinds on and exhaustion is palpable. Trump's 2-week deadlines and vague promises of peace are unlikely to resolve that. A frozen conflict may only incubate the next invasion, but Russia is not winning either, and cannot win in any meaningful sense. Its fleet is crippled, its army bleeding, its economy shrinking, its society mutinous, its leader paranoid. This is not the portrait of victory. For Ukrainians, the struggle continues. They resist because they know appeasement would only invite renewed aggression. They resist because their independence is not a negotiable token, but the core of who they are. And so, as Ukraine celebrates yet another Independence Day under fire, the lesson for us is simple. Survival itself is victory, and endurance is the measure of freedom.